the second session. First hour we will be discussing about the sides of the laptop, because if we know the base, if we know the front, then we need to know the sides of the laptop. Why we are understanding sides? Because all the connections are possible on the sides. Like if I want to connect something from outside, I need some kind of ports. If I want to connect media like cable or Wi-Fi, whatever we want to connect it from externally. If I want to connect other LCDs also with my laptop, this screen display is not enough for me, so I want to make it little bigger. I want to connect one LCD or two LCDs. Then I need some kind of ports, and whatever we will find, we have already on the laptop. And if we are not having enough ports, then we need some external devices to connect other things. Like I want to connect one printer, I need port. I want to connect two LCDs, I need ports. I want to connect other devices like mouse, keyboard, and many things are available in the market. But these laptops are coming with limited ports. So we need to discuss some other options also, which we can use, like docking station, like external VGA converters, and different kind of converters are available. And we have to know which kind of availability in ports are nowadays coming, like simple USB, 2.0 USB, 3.0 USB, or multiple options are available nowadays. So we need to understand.
USB also.
Yeah, USB also have version 2, version 3. So we will discuss all about the ports and all that. But whenever we need a connection from outside, the ultimate goal of this session is we need to understand the connection points, all the connection points, whatever it's a USB, whether it's a USB port or whether it's a VGA port or whether it's a serial port, or even we will understand in second hour that what kind of different networking media we are required. Like if I want to connect with some other computers, so I need to connect it with switch, or I need to connect it with hub or something like central device, then what kind of media we required, like what kind of cablings available. And this module will help us, this fourth hour will help us to jump into networking side, like next module. Because if we will be knowing what kind of media we can use, like coaxial cable, like twisted pair cable, like fiber optic, multiple options are there. So we will just basically understand what kind of cabling option we have, how we can make these cables, what is the structure inside of the cables, and then we will find what kind of connectors these cables are using. So this session will be completely on ports or cabling media like this. Okay, now we will jump into the module 2. Sorry, module 1 is ongoing, but session 2. So in this session, first hour, we will be discussing setup accessories and ports for connectivity. So how we can set up these different on the mobile devices are available. So I have categorized these things into two separate parts. First part, we will be discussing different ports, and in second part we will be discussing different accessories. There is a difference between ports and accessories. Ports are the connection points where we connect, and accessories are the things which we can connect with that port. So these are the devices and ports differentiation, but this will be categorized in one section. That is why, because port is required for what? Port is required to connect some accessories. So I have just divided these two things in separate sessions. One is we will be discussing all the ports, and then we will be discussing what kind of accessories we can connect it to. So first of all, generally we will be discussing about USB. We all everyone knows that nowadays every port is just converting to USB. Before it was coming serial and DB9 and DB29 and different kind of big ports were coming. But nowadays everything is just going to USB. So we have to know about USB in detail. What is mean by USB? What are the different types of USB, like type A USB, type B USB, and type C USB. And after that, USB-C is available also, micro USB also available, and mini USB also available. So if we want to connect mini USB, we need some kind of mini port. If I want to connect micro USB, I need micro type of port. Nowadays Apple is having different ports, so we need to have inside our laptop these kind of ports available. If, for example, we don't have option to connect to these ports on the laptops, then we will be using some external device like docking stations and other separate hardware, which we can just connect it to one port of the laptop, and that hardware will be providing multiple other ports to connect with our laptop. After that, we will be just going to lightning connectors. Like nowadays, lightning connectors are also coming, like Thunderbolt, like Apple devices are having different kind of lightning connectors. Then we will discuss some old interfaces, serial interfaces. Why we are discussing? Because when we will jump to the networking portion, there are some configuration cables. Then configuration cable were just used the serial connectors. What kind of different serial connection were available? Now what kind of connectors we need to convert the serial connector to USB connector. So we will just discuss serial connectors also, just to understand. Nowadays it's not coming in the laptop, but we need to understand how we can find in all computers and how we can convert them to USB, what kind of converter we require. After that, we will be just understanding about wireless communication technologies. Like we are not always having physical ports inside the lab. Nowadays, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and these kind of wireless communications are coming. So we have to know what kind of communications are there and how we can connect without any port. So first, we will be discussing here near field communication. Near field communication mean nowadays we are just taking our credit card and we are just making nearby some device and we are doing transactions. So what is this near field transactions? Because nowadays it's very popular in the market. We are just taking our credit cards, there is no cable, just we are punching somewhere and we are just doing transactions. How it is happening? This is happening because of near field communication technology. After near field communication technology, we will understand little bit about Bluetooth. What is Bluetooth technology? We know basically what is Bluetooth, but we will just explore it, how it works. After that, we will be understanding the more famous today hotspot. Anytime we go somewhere, malls and everywhere, so we just need Wi-Fi to spend time. So what is hotspot? How we can make hotspot and all that. Basically, these are wireless communication technologies, but these are used as a port. We cannot see the port, but there is some connection inside the computer logically, which we have to explore, where we can connect near field, where we can connect Bluetooth, how it works, and hotspot. So basically, these are wireless and wired both technologies we need to understand physically and logically. After understanding the port connection physically or logically for LANs or for wireless LANs, we will jump into some accessories like touch pens. Nowadays, we are using as an accessories. If you have some parcel, someone is coming at your home to deliver you. So he or she is taking sign from you with the pen, that digital pen that you are just using to signature. So these kind of accessories, we will know how it works. What is the name of this, like stylus, and nowadays inside the mobile devices like PDAs, like what you call digital assistance type of computers are coming with the stylus pen and all that. What is this stylus pen? We will know. After that, headsets is also accessories. We need to connect it to listen songs or whatever we want to communicate with someone. Speakers, we already know basic communication, that speaker is having giving sound, but we need to connect speaker somewhere. We have to connect speakers with some kind of port, or we have to connect speakers with the Wi-Fi or whatever we will be using. Webcam is also an accessories we will be understanding. Before last lecture, we also understood if webcam is just broken, how you can replace it. But now we will see what kind of different webcams available in the market we can bring as a USB and we can connect it to somewhere. Docking station, this is very famous nowadays. This is a device. If we are lack of ports inside our laptop, for example, I want to connect three LCDs, big LCDs with my laptop to make different screens, but I have only one option with HDMI. So if I need two more HDMI, so what I will do? I will take separate docking station. I will just connect that docking station inside my laptop, and I will be using four HDMI ports there, two HDMI ports there, whatever I required, I will buy. Yeah, we can buy the docking station, whatever we need. Docking stations are available in the market. Whatever ports we required, we can just go and we can find what kind of docking station is fit for our environment. So we can buy the same. Sometimes these docking stations are coming with two to four HDMIs, some serial ports, some USB ports, some Thunderbolt ports, some power connections, and also these. The Thunderbolt is just small port which is just becoming light. Like we are connecting with. I will show you which type of port is this. Port replicators also we are using. Like if we want to replicate the port, one port is there, but that is having different category, so we can replicate to some other port also. After that, we will discuss just track pads and drawing pads, because nowadays these are also popular without any stylus, without any pen. We are using our fingers, so we can use also track pad and drawing pads. So these are the advanced technologies nowadays inside the market. Now, if you see, most probably in old computers, we were just discussing about these two things, headsets and speakers. But nowadays, docking stations are there, port replicators are there, drawing pads are there. Why we are understanding? Because these technologies are coming now on mobile devices. Because we have to understand more about mobile devices. Basically, why we are calling mobile devices, this laptop is also mobile device. Anything which we can carry from somewhere to another way, that is called mobile device. So generally this is a general category of mobile devices. So mobile devices, whatever is the laptop, whatever we can carry somewhere, that is mobile device. So it doesn't mean that we are talking about mobiles only. So mobile devices is a general category of every device which we can carry from some. Like my laptop is a mobile device. My PDA is a mobile device. My touch screen is a mobile device. My digital assistant which I am carrying to take signature, that is a mobile device. So everything we can carry, that is mobile device. Okay, here we comes with the different ports. One by one we will be discussing. One is USB, universal serial port. Universal serial port, why we are calling universal serial? Because it is universal for multiple things. Like in USB port we can connect our USB for data transfer. In USB port we can connect printer. In USB we can connect our headphones. To whatever accessory is having USB connection, we can connect it to USB. That is why we are calling it universal. Why we are calling serial? Because pins inside this USB port have serial connection. Like there are multiple pins inside involved, like 9 pin, 12 pin, 13 pin, 15 pin, like that. So if we are connecting this USB with our computer, there will be a series of pins inside. That is why we are calling it serial. You know what is mean by serial? Serial means starting from one place and ending to some other place, that is called in serial. 1 2 3 series, it is like series 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So these ports inside having pins 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, they are sending traffic as a serial. If you know the difference between serial and parallel, serial is a 1 2 3 4 5 series, and parallel is together. Like these serial ports are sending traffic as a serial fashion. That is why we are calling universal serial. Why universal? We already understood that we have multiple different kind of devices we can attach. That is why we are calling it universal serial. That is not only specific to some functions, specific functions. So these are related to every device which is supporting USB, that will be called universal serial. Okay, for universal serial, we need a universal serial bus inside the computer. For example, if I am connecting USB to transfer data, that will be going inside the computer on the motherboard with some different kind of bus. And if I am connecting something like headphones as a USB, it will not be going on the same bus. We already understood when we opened the computer, there were some lines on the keyboard, on the motherboard. So that per specific line to specific data. Like if I am connecting printer to USB device, that will not go to the same line. That will be having some different line. So if you are connecting a USB with your laptop, why we are having in serial points, because one serial point maybe will use for printing, one will be using for transferring data, one will be that pins basically are connected to different buses inside the computer. For example, USB is having 20 pins inside, small pins inside, that will be connecting to 20 buses inside. For example, if I have connected audio device, the audio bus will carrying the data from 20 buses inside connected. That will lead to some kind of audio device inside, audio functionality inside. If I am connecting, the USB port will be used as a printing mechanism, and it will go to the printer side, and printing mechanism, whatever we will be pressing for control P, it will lead to the printing area. So these buses should be involved to carry the traffic. Particular bus. Yeah, every USB have multiple serial connections inside, multiple buses inside, but that buses are inside going to some different functionalities. Like for example, if USB connector is connected here, and there are 20 pins inside, and then 20 pins are not going just directly to CPU only, or just direct going to printer only, or just not going to display only. These 20 pins are divided inside the motherboard whole area. One pin is going maybe to the printing side, one is going to the display side, one is going to the CPU side. Whenever whatever functionality we require, that pin will be working on the same. For example, if I am connecting printer, that is why we are calling universal, because that can be used for printing, that can be used for data transfer. If it is used for data, for example, same USB I am connecting for printing, so that traffic of printer will be going inside the buses to the printing side. If I am using the same USB port for data transfer, so that data transfer is going from buses to the whatever called hard disk, or because we will be copying data from hard disk, or we will be copying data from RAM. So that USB bus will be going to the hard disk side or RAM side. So that is why these pins are used with the different traffic. For example, if you want to enter Dubai, so if to enter inside Dubai, there are multiple options. You can come from Abu Dhabi, you can come from Fujairah, you can come from anywhere of 6 states. But there will be one connection point you can enter, like Sheikh Zayed Road. You can enter from there only inside Dubai. So that connection point is same. But when you will enter inside Dubai, maybe you can go to the right side, maybe you can go to the beach side, or maybe you can go to the Burj Khalifa side straight, or maybe you can go somewhere else. So there will be multiple different points, because you are entering inside Dubai from one place to from any other place, but you have to go somewhere else. Like you are not coming to Dubai just by one road and you will be carrying one road. No, you can go left, you can go right, you can go somewhere else, whatever you want. So the same connection point is one USB, universal. You will enter and then you will go whatever functionality you require. If you are copying the data, the bus will lead you to the storage hard disk. If you are printing data, that will lead you to the printing side. If you are connecting some display device, that bus will lead to the display side. So there are multiple serial pins inside connection that we are calling universal, and will lead to the different ports or different. So that is why they are saying these are the serial buses inside the motherboard, which will lead you to the direction where you want to go inside, which is most commonly referred to as USB. Connects a wide variety of devices to one another. So we can connect any multiple types of devices, whatever required, such as printers, external storage devices, keyboards, mouse, and other controllers. Other controllers mean we can connect other docking stations, and what kind of other controllers separately hardware we can also connect it. USB provides data transmission but also supplies 5 volts of power through standard connection. So what is this new concept? It is providing the data transmission. Like if you connect USB, you can transfer data here and there, whether it is a printer, whether it is USB for data transfer, whatever device you are connecting. It is also providing the power to that device. For example, when you are connecting your USB to transfer data, that USB don't have any power. if you don't have power inside, you are not connecting a power connector inside USB. USB don't have its own power connector. So data will be transferred electromagnetic ways. Data is transferring as a current, as an electric data always transfer. But USB don't have any physical adapter with it. That USB don't have any physical, current power inside. Yes, so that port will provide the current also to USB. For example, if you are connecting a printer port here, that printer port is physical. That printer not have power inside that port. So this connector will provide the power to that connection. Because inside connector there will be some circuits. On these circuits or these pins, electrical current or electrical data will transfer. But this connector don't have power. So this USB connection will provide the power to that connector. Whenever you plug inside, this connection will be having 5-volt power and it will push it to the connector. Then you can connect inside. For example, if you are charging your mobile, from back side of the mobile there is power inside mobile, but mobile is not transferring power to the cable. When you connect at the other side to the laptop, that laptop port will provide the power to the USB, whatever you have, cable or whatever. So these ports also have supply for 5 volts. That 5 volts are enough to just give power to the connector. Basically, connectors don't have power inside. So these ports are providing power also. So this is a basic concepts of USB ports or whatever ports inside the computers. They are having chips inside which is supporting 5 volts battery. You can say that generally. So it will just give the power to the connector. Whenever connector will be connecting, this port will provide the power to connector to transfer data in between. Like if you are not charged, for example, you just dropped inside the pool and you are feeling like cold, you don't have like heat inside. So if you will go to hug someone, that charging automatically will transfer it from there to there. So same concept is there. If you are connecting a port to the connecting any connector to that port, that connector don't have power to send transfer data. So this port will provide the power to connector. So joined together, both have now power. They can intercommunicate data inside. Because we cannot say that this port we can provide power. So this port should be able to provide power to the connector. Yeah, whatever will be required. For example, sometime we are connecting the printer maybe need more speed, right, data. So maybe from 5 volt it will be providing to that port 4 volt. Maybe sometime we are just connecting USB and that USB is not transferring data. So if it is not transferring, we didn't give command to copy data, then maybe it will not provide the volts. When we just send signal, that signal, then they will whatever volt will be required to that USB transfer data, it will require. So it is like a battery, whatever required it will give. Okay, so this was the basic concept of USB structure inside. They are having buses inside and these buses are carrying data from different devices inside the motherboard. But to carry data from connector to port is providing the power to the connector. Now we comes to the types. Type A USB, type B USB and type C USB. What is the difference? Difference is these are the original, like most commonly used computer we use. Like we can see the port. There is some strip inside the port, that big one, right, and the other area is just empty. The two step process. Just one is the port and right, one is simply empty. So these are the general type of USB like this. Some kind of white strips will be there and we can see the pins inside also. If you just see more closely, there are pins inside also. It's showing 4 pins like or 8 pins. Sometimes is having more pins. Whatever USB structure is like, this old USB is having 2.0 version. Why I am calling 2.0 version? I will show you the difference. What is the difference between 2.0 and 3.0? But first we are discussing type A. Type A will always having like structure this strip inside pins and the empty area. Okay. The second is type B, smaller squared shapes, compatible with nearly all USB types. This kind of type B. So what is difference between type B? When you connect it inside, the structure of the pins is different. You can see inside the pin, some pins are upside and some pins are downside. Why they have changed the structure? Because usually devices are coming from outside that are not serial, like all the pins are not serial. We are generally calling it universal serial, but sometime outside the devices are coming with some pins are up, some pins are down. So this is general B type, that which is providing two type of serial and parallel both. Like if you are sending traffic like 1 2 3 4 5 and then down also 1 2 3 4 5, so there will be two types of communication, serial communications are going inside. Because sometimes if I need to connect this computer and I am just transferring data from computer or mobile to computer inside, then there is just data is going in serial 1 2 3 4 5 6. But these general type B connections are providing two layers of data communication, like two serial. One serial data is going and it's duplicating to the second series also. That will become double, you can send data on the double ratio. Yeah, like parallel, one serial connection and the other serial connection. So this will make data faster transmission. Yeah, flash drive. Yeah, basically flash drive, we are just saying flash because we are not giving any charging to that device. That is just a flash data. Like if you want to transfer this flash data to inside, that will be just finished from the USB. That is why just we are just given the name to flash. No, flash drive, basically we have given name data flash because we can just carry data and we can delete data that will be flash from the outside. So this is a flash memory. What is mean by flash? That we can rewrite it. We can just put it data and we will just cut, copy, paste or delete, and then we can rewrite again. That is why we are given flash name. Okay, what is the third type? Type C, asymmetric, slightly oval connector. Now if you see inside the structure, this port was just having inside two pins, type B connector, and this one is slightly slim and asymmetric. What is mean by asymmetric? Asymmetric mean that this ports connections are very close each other. Like if you are sending traffic and that traffic will be going inside the computer very closely. Closely mean that you can send more traffic inside, but that will be going on the same pins. We can send multiple data on the, like nowadays this USB-C type is coming with Android devices. Before it was coming with simple USB. Like if you just compare this USB to this USB, before Android devices were coming with this. So if you see the structure inside, 1 2 3 4 pins are available inside this USB. So it will be transferring data on the 4 pins. Like if you want to say if Dubai is having 4-lane road, 4 cars can go together. But this port, if you can see inside, 6 up and 6 down, 12. So you can send 3 times faster data inside this port. That is why nowadays USB is just replaced by the C type. So if you see nowadays all the ports are coming with C types. Like Android phones are all coming with C type ports. It's not coming with USB. That is why, because they have made smaller structure and they have made with more pins, so you can transfer data more fast and more data you can send. This, you can compare it 4 lanes and 12 lanes. If you make from 4 to 12 cars together can go. So these are becoming very popular nowadays because they are very slim. You can carry easily. Like if you have to carry the USB cable in your pocket, it will be very difficult because it's a big one, and the port cable will be also lengthy and it will be weight, it will be having more weight. But USB-C type you can just roll out and you can put it in pocket somewhere. So it is also very less weight, and you can carry more traffic inside because they are having multiple pins inside, so you can carry more data. So that is why we are using nowadays C type more. So nowadays you will not see on the mobile devices usually. Even nowadays you monitors are coming with the C type cable. If you will use C type cable with that, but that will not called C type. That will be called Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt I will show you after some time. What is difference between C type and Thunderbolt? Okay. The other category is USB-C. Okay, so what is mean by type C and USB-C? That is having two different structure. Just we saw type C is having here 6 to 12 pins inside, and type C will be separately used 24 pins, double the size of type C. Like difference between C type and type C. If you see the diagram, type C cable is having 12 pins, and here they have written USB-C type is having 24 pins. So they have increased double more than C type pins inside. So we can use 24 pin structures inside C type for the transferring power up to 100 watts, and before simple USB was providing power only 5 watts. Now this USB-C is providing 100 watts. Why? Because this data can be transferred up to 10 Gbps speed. 10 Gbps mean in 1 second 10 GB data you can transfer. So where these kind of USBs are used and suitable for connecting video devices. Like I was telling you that nowadays we are using these USBs to transfer the video signal to LCD. Like we can connect this smaller USB which is having more pins, which is having power 100 volts, and we can use it with the display screens. Before HDMI or other devices were used like VGA connectors, but nowadays HDMI is also replaced with this USB-C type. Now new LCD is coming in the market which is not having even HDMI. They are using the type C cable. Sorry, not type C, USB-C cable. Type C and USB-C. Type C is used in the mobiles with the 12 pins, but USB-C is used by nowadays transferring the video content. Like we can use it with the bigger LCDs or LEDs nowadays coming at home. Before LEDs and LCDs were used with the HDMI ports, VGA ports, but VGA ports was replaced with HDMI, but now HDMI is replaced with the USB-C type. So we can transfer data and up to GBs. That HDMI was transferring data to 1 GB, at least 2 GB, like that. Now we can transfer data 10 GB. So our graphics are becoming more complex, and now we need to send more graphics to the LCD, and then this type C, or sorry, again I am saying type C because these are same name, USB-C. So USB-C is having same structure of type C, but there will be more pins inside that can carry more data, like 1 GB to 10 GB data. So we can use these USB-C types in video devices. Like if I want to transfer one display to other display, that I can connect with my laptop type USB-C to big display. So that will be transferring video data. Without any wireless connection, we can transfer data, like my screen I can share with the another one. Yeah, we can share it, but the problem is it will not give proper display. So we better to use USB cable. With Wi-Fi it's possible. Like I am watching one video on my mobile, so I want to transfer this video to my big screen. So what I will do, I will just make threading inside mobile. There is setting, so transfer this video to big screen. So that will be going with the Wi-Fi. Yeah, from laptop, if you want to send that, there should be some software used inside Windows to transfer data from laptop to screen share software, or whatever you want to use, whatever the software is. But that software will not provide the functionality according to this C cable. Yeah, it will be showing on the big screen, but maybe if you are using mouse and your mouse is just moving like, donkey, so that will be very, very slow. Even the display will be coming very slow because it is transferring all the data through wireless, because your laptop is connected to the same Wi-Fi and your LCD is connected to the same Wi-Fi. But your data from the computer display data is going through Wi-Fi. Display data is much more complex. That is why we are using USB-C cable to transfer data very fast. So display should have smooth result. So if you will be transferring with Wi-Fi or by using some software screen share, it will be very slow. Or maybe your result will not come properly because it is sending traffic through Wi-Fi. So better to use a USB-C cable. That will be smooth display and that will be soft. Yeah, we can use it. Which one? Yeah, we can use dongle, but dongle will be having same result of Wi-Fi. That will be sending traffic through wireless channel. So it will be same result. Yeah, same like software, because that will be also transferring data to wireless communication. So whenever you make wireless communication possible, that wireless communication is same, whatever is dongle, whatever the software, but data is going in the air. So if wireless communication is used to transfer data from one place to another place, the result will same. Okay, a standard USB-C cable has type C connector on each end, and there are USB-C to USB-A converters that can be used for interfering with USB-A type ports. So sometimes one side of the cable is USB type A and one side is USB-C. What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this, maybe your computer is having A type and your LCD is having C type, or your laptop is having C type, the other is having A type. So you can connect both sides separately. One connection is A type, one connection is C type. Okay, after completing this USB-C, which is very important nowadays, everyone is using this USB-C. How you will check that you are buying from market USB-C? You just see inside the port there will be at least 24 pins. That will be very small, like this. You can see these are 12 pins. But yeah, when you will see inside the USB-C, then you can see multiple more smaller pins, and you can, if you want to try to count, just generally you can count it's more than 24 pins, so that you can identify. Okay, third one is micro USB. What is mean by micro and mini? You understood in the computer sense. There were micro computers and there were mini computers. So what was the difference between? Mini is smaller than micro, but in case of USB, micro is having micro and mini, both USBs are available. So we will be just seeing that what is the difference. Micro and mini both. Okay, micro USB connector is the smallest of the USB type, because micro is, like, if you want to understand mini and micro means, like, you can say that, which example we can take. You can say the bee, makhi, that is mini, and machhar is micro, because this is very much smaller than bee. So that is the differentiation between micro and mini. Why we are changing this structure, we will just understand here. Commonly used for connecting and charging mobile devices such as MP3 players, smartphones, cameras, and more. Nowadays, this one is coming like this type. If you just see here, this one. Before, Android devices were used this USB, micro USB, that one was micro USB. Similar like V3, but that was having structure from one side is cutted. No, before Android devices like Samsung devices were coming with this slim one, that was micro USB. But nowadays, micro USB is also replaced with this one, Type C. This one. Type C is more popular than micro also. Why? Because these micro USB is also having inside female pins. If you understand the male and female concept in the port, male port will be with pins and female port with hole. If you understood the basic concepts in the IT, male ports will be always having pins inside and female ports always having holes inside. So this USB was having female type connectors. Why? Because the other port should have male connector. So it was sending traffic, but there were smaller pins inside, or sometime this structure was not good. Maybe sometime if you push inside, that connector can be broken or something like that. But if you see the USB structure, Type C structure is very strong. If you just will push it inside, that will not break. But this structure was not very strong. That is why Samsung also replaced this mini micro USB to this one Type C connector. Nowadays Type C is very popular. See, if you want to see that USB port commonly used, different types of typically USB 3.0 and Type C. So you can use 3.0 also and Type C. So what is mean by USB 2.0 and 3.0? USB 2.0 and USB 3.0. If you will see inside your computer, if you see this plate is white, then USB white or black, both colors are coming. That will be USB 2.0. If this one is coming with blue color, that will be 3.0. So what is the difference? Difference is speed. That is enhanced structure of USB from 2.0 to 3.0, which is carrying capacity is more than 10 times. Like if USB 2.0 can transfer data 1 GB per second, that USB 3.0 can transfer 10 GB per 10 gigabit data per second. So 10 times faster than 2.0. For example, if you see here the port, that port is in my laptop. See, you can see the USB with blue color. That is having blue. So whenever you want to see USB, difference between USB 2.0 and 3.0, structure will be same. But there will be one difference also. In USB 2.0, if you see this one, that is connected to the structure of USB from up and down. But whenever you will see 3.0, there will be little space from up also, and this plate will be little slim. So we cannot use that. No, we cannot use, because that structure inside is just carrying data, capacity is very less. Because if you can see the pins inside, the pin structures are just made for 4 pins. Yeah, it will break also, and we can connect. That structure will be same. You can connect, but inside the USB, when you will be connecting, there will be 20 pins. But in USB 2.0, there will be 4 pins inside. The data carrying capacity will be same. That will be used by 2.0, because inside port is not supporting. Your USB is 3.0, but port is 2.0. That will be transferring data. You can insert the USB inside, but transferring rate will be same as 2.0. The transferring rate will not become 3.0. So if you have USB 3.0, you should have the port 3.0. If you are not having port inside laptop 3.0, data transfer rate will be 2.0. For example, you have brought USB from outside, that 3.0, which is carrying capacity 10 GB per second, but you are having port 2.0, then data transfer will be 2.0. Yeah, it will not useful, because USB is faster and your port is not faster. Sometime what we are doing, our laptops, before laptops were coming with port 2 and port version 2 and version 3 ports both. When I was using 5 to 6 years back my laptop, 2 were USB 2.0 and one USB came just new 3.0. So when I was transferring data from USB 2.0, it was just giving speed 20 Mbps or 30 Mbps per second. When I just removed the USB and connected to 3.0, it was giving 60 Mbps to 80 Mbps to 90 Mbps, even 100 Mbps. Why? Because that USB structure was matching with 3.0. It was working with 2.0. It will always work because the port structure and port size is same. You can connect 3.0 to 2.0 port, but data will transfer only to. It will take only. Yeah, it will take whatever as per port. Because why? That USB 2.0 is giving power 5 volt. That is the case also, and the structure of USB port inside is 4 pins. Your USB is having maybe 20 pins, so it will be transferring only to the data to 4 pins. So 16 pins are free. So if you are just not using 16 pins, how data can go inside? For example, the road is 4 lane. You are trying to run 20 cars. How they will run? 4 cars will go, then 4 cars will go, then 4 cars will go, and that will take 5 times less time. So if you will make 20 lane road, then 20 cars can go together. Okay, this is also having 5 pins type B connector. Then you can use it in mini like this one. That is having same structure, but this one is little slim. Like this mini pin, for example, your micro pin is having like this one, and mini will be like this one. You have seen already some kind of Android devices were coming which were having connector smaller but little bit bigger, little bit like one is white. Yeah, one is a very slimmest. So that is the difference between USB micro. Yeah, yeah, like mini. I think. You can use mini also, but these two both are replaced with USB-C type nowadays. These both are not used. But before, devices were coming like this. More of mini USB was coming with what you called that where you listen the songs, MP3s. MP3. Some kind of MP3s type devices were coming, which were coming with this USB type, like mini USB. But after that, this one just become little bigger with the Android devices. But now both are the devices. Yeah, now both are devices just replaced with the USB-C type. Okay, the fifth one is lightning connectors, which is coming with the iPhones, like this one. Why we called lightning connectors? Because these devices or these ports are not structurally inside of the port. These are outside of the ports. If you can see the ports or chips or pins, these pins are visible outside the ports. That is why we are calling them lightning connectors. Why lightning connectors? Whenever you will plug, you can also see the pins outside. So these are lightning. You can see if you just make near light, it will glow. So that is why they are calling, just given the name lightning connectors. So lightning connectors were introduced in 2012 along with the iPhone first time. So which I was discussing, first introduced by these lightning connectors by Apple. First time they have introduced these lightning connector with iPhone 5 and other Apple products for charging and synchronizing devices. I think only Apple. Yeah, I think only Apple is using the lightning connector, but I think some of the other countries, some of the other devices also use. Yeah, Germany also makes this. AirPods and other devices, but these are not iPhone ones, the other also. But usually these lightning connectors were just introduced by my Apple, and first it came with iPhone 5. Example of lightning cable shown in figure, lightning with 8-pin digital signal connector. So these are having 8 pins. I think still they are carrying the same structure for every device. Oh, still they are using. They change now 15 pins. C type. Okay, because before it was 8 pins. I think I didn't see my phone is 13 or 14. I think on the 16 model they changed. No, 15. Same like it. So they have changed it. Same like it. Like the first one. Okay. Yeah. Now this one is C type. Now 15 and 16 using this kind of charger. Why? Because this was I think it was using dust. Maybe it was making damage these pins. That's why. Yeah. That's why they have just changed the structure. Okay. But sixth one. Same time also is from that. Yeah. So maybe the structure is different, but the problem is why we are calling lightning connectors, because first they will just make it. Yeah. Okay. The sixth one is serial or parallel interfaces, that is transferring data bit rate as a one by one, because these serial connectors are just connected serially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what type of connection were used before the serial cables, like big printer cables connections were using serial ports. If we want to see serial port, that was the serial port, like VGA before it was coming in the serial fashion. Okay. And parallel port is sending set of parallel carriers, like which we already discussed. These ports were using first like one serial connection, and these ports came with the two types, parallel also, serial plus parallel. So what is the difference between, in serial data we can transfer one by one, bit by bit in series, and in parallel we can send parallelly data. So what was the parallel port used for? Parallel ports basically for used for printing and other type of devices. But nowadays these all replaced. Nowadays these all replaced with USB. And these one also PS2 ports and PS gaming ports were coming, like before keyboard and mouse were coming like with this. Now these are also replaced with the USB port. Okay, here we have just finished the ports section. All the ports we understood. What are the serial ports, parallel ports, lightning ports, mini ports, micro ports, USB port, USB-C port, USB Type C, A, B, C. What is the difference between these type of devices? These are all ports available nowadays, but usually some of the ports are available on the laptop, some of the ports are not available. If we want to communicate something without ports, then what we need to do, we need to use these three technologies: near field technology, Bluetooth technology, and hotspot technology. So these are the technologies we can use nowadays without any port. We don't need any C type, we don't need any B type or USB type. So we need Wi-Fi connection. So what is the near field communication? Near field nowadays create an electromagnetic field when the devices are close to each other. So electromagnetically we can send data through Wi-Fi when these devices are nearby. For example, your credit card, or you are just doing transaction here in UAE from your mobile. So what will happen? This device will enable some kind of Wi-Fi, and your device is also having Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connection that will be nearby, and they will create a nearby field, and inside the field they can transfer data. For example, sometime we just have to push our credit card very nearby device, then it will make transaction. So it should be very limited area. But credit Wi-Fi. No, that not credit card having Wi-Fi. Credit cards having one chip over. If you want to see the credit card, there is some kind of chip. So that chip is having electromagnetic field. See that chip. That chip inside having some electromagnetic mechanism which will become the part of other devices, near field communication. So they will be sending the traffic to the device. For example, your device should have given power to the credit card also. Same like USB port, because your device is trying to connect with your credit card. So that device should provide little bit power in Wi-Fi to your credit card. Then both will sync each other. Now credit card is charged also, both charge, so they can send transfer electromagnetically. Like if you can see in the photo, we can transfer data with near field communication. Sometime we are using, and the best example is Apple Pay. So we can send traffic by Apple Pay. Okay, the Bluetooth technology is a short range wireless technology. Apple Pay, like in my phone, yeah, also try. So there is no Wi-Fi. Even I can pay with that. There is no Wi-Fi, but your phone is having charged, and then the transmission is happening to the near field communication. Like it will send some rays The device will send some rays. These rays will sync each other, and on that rays, basically they will make some path between each other. So the transfer rate should be going on this path. That is why they should be closed. If your phone is little bit away from that machine, that connection will not made with the electromagnetic waves. So your data cannot transfer. So you need to make it closer. So that is why this near field communication means that they have given the name near field, because they should have close each other. Okay. The Bluetooth technology, we already understood the short range wireless technology that can be used from personal networking connections, wireless speakers, mic, keyboard, such as devices, headphones, microphones, wearables, and whatever the technology is used with the Bluetooth. Mostly we are using this Bluetooth technology at home with the remote controls, with the remote control of TV or remote control of AC, or these kind of before they were using what kind of technology, that was straight. If you just move the remote to the left side, yeah, they were not using Bluetooth technology. You have to show the sensor. Yeah, LED light. Nowadays Bluetooth technology mean that it is available in circle, in radius, wherever your device is in your front, but your remote is on this side, it will work. If your remote is on this side, it will work, because the signal is just rounding at the circle. So whatever the device is at the circle, you can move the remote, whatever, it will go signal, and that will move it. Hotspot turns the devices into a wireless router with SSID. How we can create a hotspot? Like, we can share our communication from mobile or from our devices to the other devices. So like, if I want to share something with you, I will enable my Bluetooth, and that Bluetooth will become hotspot for you. You can connect it to my Wi-Fi. So that is basically a Bluetooth technology, but that will become a router for you. For example, access point is providing Wi-Fi. You can connect it through the range with the Wi-Fi. But if I want to transfer data from my mobile, I will enable the hotspot, and you can access my Wi-Fi. My computer or my laptop, my mobile will become router for you. You can connect it to my router and you can use it. That is basically called hotspot. Hotspots have some other ways also. You want to make hotspot, you have to bring access point. You need to connect it to the network, and that hotspot will be having some Wi-Fi name and some password. You will be configuring inside. In CCNA or in other courses, we just make hotspots. But nowadays we can make hotspot with any device. For example, I am having data connection here in my mobile. I don't have a Wi-Fi connection here in Zabil. What I will do, I will enable my data from mobile, and that will become my router. And I will be using same Wi-Fi like I am connecting to some access point. So there will be some SSID. SSID mean the network name. Like, I need to search something. For example, on my mobile is like name iPhone 14 or iPhone 5. I have just given the name. So that name will become the SSID. That name will become the service set identifier and the password. Like similar here, that is a Wi-Fi router or hotspot router, and this router is giving the Wi-Fi to the other router, and this router is giving to the other router. And these devices are just carrying the Wi-Fi signals. So that is very easy nowadays. Just you have to bring one access point. If you don't have access point, you can make any device which can carry data as a Wi-Fi. You can make any device like your router. Just two things will be required. One is SSID, the network name you have to configure, and one password. Whoever will be having this Wi-Fi, because everyone will be showing that your name is this one. But to connect to your device, they need the password. Then router wireless 1 and 2. Basically, wireless router 1 and 2 means that if you are having at home one hotspot router, that can be shared to the other wireless also. For example, these are not behaving like wireless. These are behaving like repeaters. These are repeaters. Basically, my Wi-Fi router is covering in first floor only. So if I am on the second floor of my building, I'm not getting Wi-Fi. So what I will do, I will bring another access point. That access point, I will connect it to the ground floor access point by Wi-Fi. We can make it together hotspot. So basically, no, without wire, we can connect. Yeah, sender and receiver. That will become your repeater. So if you want to bring the router from market, you will say that I don't need router, I need access point or repeater. I want to extend my signals. So what you will do, you will enable the Wi-Fi name from the main router and you will go to the other access point which is on the floor one, and that will be syncing the same SSID from the main router, and it will extend the signal to that router, and that router will be providing Wi-Fi on the second. And if the signals of second floor is not going to the third floor, you will make another device on the third floor and you will sync the SSID from the second floor. That will give you the same SSID inside the third router, and this third router will become the router. Yeah, router. No, router will be different routers. The SSID and password will remain same. For example, at home I have a Etisalat router which is providing Wi-Fi to my home, but I have three floor home. I don't want to bring another connection to the second floor and third floor. What I will do, I will just go to market and I will say I need a wireless repeater. So they will give you wireless access point which is having repeating capability. So you will just give power on the second floor, you will turn on and you will go inside the setting, and you will not make it as a router. You will make it as a access point or as a repeater mode. There will be three options inside the setting. So whenever you will go inside the setting, there will be three options. Whenever you bring some new router, you have to configure it. So whenever you will plug with your laptop to configure, it will say next, next, next. When you will be going next, 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 there will be three options. Whether you want to use this router as a router or as a repeater or as an access point, there will be three options, because these routers having three capabilities. They can be used as a router to provide Wi-Fi, they can be used as an access point, and they can be used as a repeater. So you will choose the option as a repeater. So when you will choose the option as a repeater, it will say from where you will get Wi-Fi. So it will ask which router you will select to get the Wi-Fi. So the signal from our first floor will be coming to that device. You will catch the signal from main router and you will say I will use as the main router this one. So it will ask what is the SSID, what is the password. You should know the username and password. So you will provide the username and password to this access point on the second floor. That will also become the extension of the main. And then you will be using the same username and password on the second. But the device will be different. That device will be catching signal from the first floor with the same SSID and password and will be providing more extensive signal to the second. It will be the same speed. But it depends. If you are carrying the central device with some area which is having issues near lift or something, signal can be disturbed, then there will be signal problem on the second floor. But if you are connecting the first floor device to the same location where the upside is the second one, they are catching very good strong signal from down, then there will be very good communication. That depends on the area. For example, you have put it the down floor main router near lift and the other router is also near lift. When lift is not working, signals are going very good. But when lift is working, that there will be communication problem, because these router are carrying signal through air. Whenever something will become forceful nearby them, electricity or something, noise or something will be carrying, that signals will be disturbed, because they are also having some kind of sound and these kind of waves, because that is frequency. What kind of different accessories available? Touch pens, we already know that if someone is coming for delivery nowadays and they have to take signatures, and you have to give signature on the digital device, so they will be using some kind of pen. That pen is known as stylus. So nowadays Samsung Note also coming, so we can use it the same. This is basically handheld pointing device, which can just point to the screen and the touch screen will take as a mouse click or something, but whatever you want to take it. Touch pens can be used on smartphones, tablets, and other devices which is having touch display. So that requirement for touch pen is the panel should be touch screen. If there is the panel is not touch screen, that will not. So how it works? If it will, whenever we have near field communication, that will work the same. Touch pen is providing some kind of electrical glowing signals that sensor will sense, and whenever we click on that sense, it will work like near field communication. So whenever we will be touching with that sensor will be giving input to the touch screen, and that touch screen will be thinking that someone pressed the key or someone is doing something, and then these will someone given that. Yeah. Headsets, we already know that these are the mobile devices. We traditionally 3.5 millimeter or mini jacks were used for this, but nowadays these one also replaced with the USB or mini USBs nowadays coming, or we can also connect with the wireless or Bluetooth technology. Some of the headphones were coming with Bluetooth, but nowadays we can connect it wirelessly, same like mouse or keyboard. Third one is speaker. Speaker is also known that very small speakers with the limited power, because some of the speakers also having AC power inside. So we don't need to give power to these. So small speakers are coming nowadays, which even don't have power. They have inside AC power, like a UPS. We can use for some time, 4 hours, 6 hours. After 4 6 hours, we can charge them. So to increase the volume, make it easier for groups to hear music, connect external speaker and jacks wirelessly. We can also connect it with wireless webcams. Webcams basically nowadays coming like external webcams. In our basic lecture, we were thinking inside the laptop. So if something happened to the internal webcam, we can buy the external webcam like that, and we can use it as a capture video images or real time images. And there are some couple charged devices. Couple charged devices mean that if you have a CMOS image sensor inside your computer, like you can use these kind of sensors. For example, sometimes we are using these video cameras to go live, and sometimes we need to use these for video conferencing. Like if I am using for video conferencing, so my data should be going on both sides. Like inside the conference room, there will be LCD. Someone will be watching inside the conference room, and my communication will be also going broadcast over the internet. So both sides communication will be possible on this charge coupled device. Docking station, this is why I was talking that if I don't have connections in my laptop, so I can extend my capability of ports with help of docking station. Docking station, for example, I want to connect 3 LCDs with my laptop, but my my laptop is having only one HDMI port. I need two more HDMI port or C ports. So I will buy another extra docking station. It will be like this, and it will be having separate network connection, separate USB 3.0 ports, separate like HDMI ports, whatever functionality I require. Yeah, I will go to the market and I will buy this docking station. And this docking station can also provide power to your laptop. For example, I don't want to connect my laptop directly to the power station. I just want to give my laptop whatever power required. For example, if I am connecting my charger direct to the electricity, if something happened to electricity, my charger or my laptop can be damaged. So if I want to avoid this behavior, I will connect docking station directly to the charger, and then I will connect my charger to the docking station. So that will be carrying only the required power. If something happened to electricity from direct side, the docking station will be damaged, but my laptop will be saved because my laptop is connected through docking station. So one advantage is we can extend the capability, and the other advantage is we can save our hardware, main hardware that will be connected to. Nowadays in our office, we are also using multiple LCDs, and we can connect the laptop directly to the docking stations. So that will avoid the transfer of electricity. Provide a host single and multi-function ports. The typical docking station use a proprietary connection but adds ports devices not available on the original laptop. If you are not having original ports inside your laptop, for example, nowadays I have to connect the LED which is having port C type or type C, but I don't have in laptop. So what I will do, I will connect my docking station, and docking station have that, so that I can connect my LCD through docking station. Because nowadays things are changing, but these laptops are not changing technology, because maybe users are buying the laptops, but they are using 5 year 10 years, they are not changing the technology. I am still using the laptop from 10 years, but technology has changed. I have latest LCD at home that is using type C cable, but I don't have in my laptop, so I have to go and I have to buy the same docking station which is providing the facility of types. I will connect that docking station, and then I can connect that LCD and new devices to the docking station. Port replicator. So port replicator is basically providing the permanent home for video, network, audio cable that you otherwise attach to detach from laptop and move it around. What is mean by this? These port replicator is having different charging options or different port replication option. For example, one side is having one side is having VGA, and the other side is having what you call HDMI. So you can connect from one side that old-fashioned HDMI, old-fashioned VGA cable. The other side will be providing you HDMI facility. So that will be replicating your old technology to the new technology. What is the difference then between docking station and this port replicator? Docking station is only extending your functionality. That is not providing you the different replications. For example, you are having old monitor at home. You want to connect, even docking station don't have that port, then there will be no use of docking station. You cannot use the old LCD with your laptop, because your docking station also not having old fashioned VGA cable. So you have to buy the port replicator. Port replicator will provide the facility to connect from one side to VGA, and the other side will be HDMI, and it will be converting. So you can replicate it.
What is the difference between docking station, media converter, and port replicator?
I think media converter is just converting one type of connection. Like if I am having VGA old one, I want to convert it to HDMI, that will be only converting one item. But docking station is providing you multiple options to extend, and the port replicator is providing you multiple. That is the difference between single what you call single use, and this one is having multiple. For example, we are having different kind of old devices, 5 devices. So we want to convert at the same time. We don't need separate converters. So we will just buy one device which is having multiple capabilities. That is single to multiple.
That is for
options.
port.
Yeah, port replicator. Media converter will be converting only single option. Track pads and drawing pads, we already know if we are using this kind of devices. So this kind of devices should require track pads, like if you want to draw something, or if you want to pressure sensitive and convert it to cursor and printer locations and all that. These kind of devices are used by nowadays YouTubers. They are delivering lecture, but they cannot write on, like I am drawing by OneNote. But if I want to write something, I cannot write it properly through this mouse. For example, if I want to write it here, type something. So that will be very difficult to type. So I will just connect the drawing pads inside my laptop, and on the drawing I will be using pen. So writing will be very easy for me to just, okay. These general devices we already know, keyboard, mouse and monitor. I think no need to discuss in detail, because in keyboard you already know there are multiple types of keys, mechanical keyboards, membranes keyboard, wireless keyboards and agnostic keyboard. What is the difference between them? These are mechanical keyboards known for Facebook feedback and durability, like we are using general keyboards that these are durable. We are just pressing keys whatever with weight and all that. But these are the keys which quite are less expensive. Like some of the devices are coming with the keyboards which are not providing any noise of keys and all that, which are very sensitive. Wireless keyboards we are using with Bluetooth technology, and these are designed to sustain and improve typing posture. Like sometime we need some kind of keyboard. Like usually these kind of keyboards are coming with Apple. These are very easy and very relaxing and all. Mouse also have optical mouse, laser mouse, wireless mouse, and gaming mouse. Different kind of. So there is a difference between optical and laser. Optical mouse are using a light sensor inside, like this one, and laser mouse are using laser technology. Whenever, wherever you are moving, this laser is moving inside. So these are basically working same, but there is a technology difference. One will be laser technology, one will be optical technology. Monitors we are using LCDs, LEDs, OLEDs or curved monitors now. We already discussed in last lectures what is the difference between these LEDs, because when we discussed the LCD monitor, LCD is liquid crystal and liquid emitting diode, and OLED is the latest version. And curved monitors why we are using, because our retina is moving somewhere, and whenever we are moving left right, this is also moving to the same side, and there is no effect direct on the eyes.